Good morning, mother, this woman cries across the valley to Syria. On the other side, the call is heard. The reply is barely audible. This is how the people of the Golan Heights communicate with their relatives, even court their husbands, across a border which was imposed here more than 30 years ago. The border between Syria and Israel, enemy states, is heavily guarded and shut. But this day is an exception. 7 brides are being allowed to cross into Israel to marry. Romance is mixed with trauma, for after setting foot on Israeli soil, they'll never be allowed home again. It's a traditional welcome for the newlyweds by the Druze community, which has lived in the Golan for hundreds of years. Some of this bride's new neighbors are long-lost uncles and cousins whom she's never seen. It's a remarkable day. This event is a symbol of hope for a community living under the cloud of one of the most fundamental divisions in the Middle East. Even so, for the brides, the trials are just beginning. Rima Safadi hasn't seen her family since she crossed this border in her wedding dress 6 months ago. Like many others today, the guards wouldn't let her greet her relatives in no man's land. Then, embarrassed by the cameras, they let her in. It was an emotional reunion for a family divided by a massive political barrier. The Golan Heights, an area of great strategic importance, was first taken from Syria in the 1967 war. Scores of villages were destroyed in the fighting, and many Syrians fled over the border. Others, mostly Druze, stayed on. People like Rima Safadi, who do not integrate into Israeli society, still consider themselves to be very much Syrian. Like others on both sides of the border, she's not at all happy.
Something is wrong because I lost my family.
Peace and the return of the Golan to Syria is the only solution to our community's problems, she says. On the hills of the Golan, peace seems far off. Talks between Syria and Israel have been stalled for years. This woman, who wasn't allowed through the gates to see her mother at the border wedding, choked back her tears. I was only a few meters away, she said, but there was nothing I could do. Hilary Anderson, BBC News, on the Golan Heights.